mysteries buried beneath the New Mexican desert in our upcoming episode, The Dulce Base. Join us as we delve into the legends, conspiracies, and supposed secrets of this enigmatic underground facility. Tonight on Newsworthy, two words and two question marks.
He's alive! Have you checked the children? Get out!
You have scoured the podcast world and finally found us, Newsworthy with Steve and Jerry, where we delve into all things mysterious, macabre, or out of this world, and decide if they are truly newsworthy. Two words and two question marks.
Hi, this is Ed Locke with USA Mortgage. Buying your first home can be overwhelming, but here are 5 tips to make the process go smoother. Number 1, find a lender, me, Ed Locke, that can answer any questions you might have and help you get pre-approved. There are multiple options available based on your situation. Number 2, work with a real estate agent you can trust. Number 3, don't rush the process. Take your time and know that the process could take some time. Number 4, consider all the costs. Number 5, get a home inspection and review it with your realtor. Keep these tips in mind, budget for yourself, and you'll be that much closer to making your dream of homeownership a reality. So reach out to me at 502-680-0953. NMLS ID 448908, DAS Acquisition Company, LLC, doing business as USA Mortgage, NMLS ID 227262. This is not a commitment to lend. Additional terms and conditions apply. USA Mortgage is an equal housing opportunity.
Well, welcome back to Podbean, Jerry Burnett. How are
Old
you?
school. Doing great. Yourself?
Well, it's been an evening. That's
Old
what I can
school.
say. Hello,
Podbean.
Miss Sarah. We're glad you're here with us.
Yes, we are.
As always. This was
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back indeed. So, man, this was going to be such a different episode.
Let the listeners know what you meant when you said it's been a very different evening so far.
Give them the bad news.
Well, yeah, we had switched from Podbean several months ago at this point, almost a year ago.
I think it was about a year
And we got ready to go live and do our podcast tonight, and had an email from them stating that we couldn't do episodes there anymore. We had to do it somewhere else and upload it, and
they had discontinued the recording software,
which was one of the primary reasons we went with them in the first place. So
bullshit.
What she said.
And we're back, at least for now.
Yeah, we're here for a couple of episodes probably anyway till we find a new home. But this was our 2-year anniversary episode. And
that it was.
We're all drinking some Sweet Red.
Cheers,
all
guys.
the good people are drinking Sweet Red. And then there's some people drinking beer, but whatever.
After we figured out it was the 2-year anniversary, we attempted to get Stella Rosa, the OG, and then we found out that Walmart doesn't sell it cold. We didn't have enough time to get it cold because that's the way civilized people drink wine.
Yes, all civilized
cold,
people drink
sweet red.
Cold, sweet red.
I'll be investing in the Barefoot Fruitscato.
Yes,
because that is delicious.
That is good
It's
stuff.
really good.
See, the other day, Sarah was like, I don't drink red wine.
That's
Nose
not
in
red,
the
it's
air.
purple.
Nose
Close
was in the
enough.
air. She tried it tonight.
She liked that good
Convented.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's not red wine.
One more person that we
Converted.
That's right.
We converted the New York Times already,
Yes, we
so
did. We
that
did
was
that.
good.
Yes, we did.
So, weird enough, we are live. We have a live episode, so please bear with us if things are a little askew. We apologize. There's no do-overs when you're doing it live. So, yeah,
But we've
there's
had
that.
enough wine that we probably won't care, even if it needs to be done over. So, how was your all's week?
Awesome.
Man, it's been crazy
good.
busy for me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good too.
But I know it has been a oh crap. Sorry.
Your phone is dinging.
Yeah, I'm
Shouldn't
trying to
be
make
doing
it
that
not
on
ding.
live.
Well, yeah, I know, right? Normally I can edit that crap out when I'm trying to turn it off, but
Some of our OGs figure out that we're live and
not yet.
Ding.
I was letting them know.
Double and Mochi. Talking to you guys.
But what was it? Oh, it's been a great couple of days for riding. Finally, if you're a motorcyclist in Kentucky, it's great. If you have 2 days in a row, it has literally rained for what, a month. If you didn't catch to be able to mow your yard in those 2 days that it was sunshiny, then I'm sorry, you probably need a bush hog at this
Hire a
point.
neighbor to mow it.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
hire a kid with a push mower and watch him suffer.
I took the windshield off my bike, and it's so much better. I hate
Oh,
the
good.
windshield.
Yeah, do you?
I do. I think a windshield and a full face helmet is just way too much. I don't get that feeling. You know what I mean?
Well, it's different style riding.
Yeah.
You know, I hit the interstates a lot more than you do, so I like that wind protection. I like that bug protection, especially since cicadas are finally out again.
I like the protection of a 2,000-pound automobile around
Oh,
me.
you mean you want a cage?
Yeah,
Yes.
You animal.
Yeah.
you get booed.
I do.
You get
I'm
booed.
a wimp. I agree. I was always
Lame.
afraid. I don't have the
This is his excuse.
ability.
Listen.
I don't have the ability to stay focused. And I know I would just crash.
I'm
quickly.
glad I share the road with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But, there's a little bit of safety and a little bit of forgiveness in an automobile. Motorcycles, very little, I hear. So I think I'll stay off.
Say
Hats
a
off to
little
all you
prayer.
guys.
Just say a little prayer every time you get on the bike. It could be your last ride.
Sure. But I don't get on bikes, so I don't have to say the prayer. I'll say it for you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But I'm glad to hear you guys had a busy
Crazy.
week. I'm very glad to hear it.
I started playing flag football.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
It was awesome. I was
Good.
scared. There's these really big dudes on the team, and they're very aggressive and very fast.
They're
And
usually pretty.
I found myself very timid on the field. I was like, oh, don't get hurt.
I bet you didn't get tackled or anywhere near
No.
tackled once.
And I stole 2 flags, so I'm
There
a
you
winner.
go. Absolutely. I had a good week. You know what I realized this week?
What?
My wife and I were very happy for almost 23 years. And then we met. What do you think?
This guy had a whole week to come up with a great joke.
Do you not
You
like
know-
that one? Well, hold on. I got another one for
I
you.
was looking for something more romantic.
I've got one. Perfect.
Okay.
Have I told you why that I no longer see my wife?
Why?
It's all because of gambling. I won the lottery and I moved away.
That's a good one.
Wow.
So, better?
No, not
Who's
particularly.
got better than that?
Okay, let me see what you got.
What?
Let me see what you got.
Listen, I don't have a good dad joke. I just want to let you know in prepping for this episode that I absolutely learned that I hate spelling errors.
Use a.
Hmm?
Use a.
Yeah, well, you mix up 2 letters and your whole post is urine.
I like it.
I'll give you a
I'm-
little bit of a giggle, and that's it.
If you were using ChatGPT, it not only would be urine, it would be enigmatic urine.
Ugh. Yeah.
You know what's better than urine?
What?
Coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Love coffee.
How
Moist.
do aliens pay for coffee?
Moist
Oh.
coffee, that's even better.
That's just irrelevant and irresponsible and all the ear words.
Gotcha.
How do aliens pay for coffee?
With their Starbucks.
I like it. And you said you.
How long has she not been on the show that she's had time to come up with a good dad joke and that's what she gets?
I was afraid to use that one. That's a good dad joke. I like that. That's a
With their
typical dad joke.
Starbucks. Come
Suck
on.
up.
It wasn't so bad.
That's a typical dad joke. Very good one.
Thank you.
Better than yours.
Ha!
So, Podbean, we're back. Did you ever think we'd be back with Podbean?
No.
Neither did I. But here we are. Live.
So let's just recap a couple of years. For the first 6 months, we were terrible, right?
No. We were awesome from episode 1. That's
Okay.
my story.
Most real people think that we were terrible the first 6 months.
You
at
weren't
least.
terrible. You just had some kinks to get through.
Yeah. Well, we got through those kinks.
So 98%.
We got better. Gotten better, I think, a little bit. We switched programs and was able to do things a lot better, a lot smoother. We'd gotten things down within a good shape. We've had some amazing guests. We've had Brett and Mochi came on, and Sarah's been on a couple of times. Clay Davis has been on a few times. We have a calendar that we're working off now with all of our things already listed out, subject to change, but for the most part, we kind of know what we're going to be doing for the next several months. And we're continuing, our numbers continue to get better and better and better. So that's encouraging. To answer your question, did I ever think I was back on Podbean? No. And it's really weird because I accidentally paid for Podbean for another year and we haven't used it at all. And it just so happens tonight we needed it.
So says the universe.
Yeah, so says the universe. I was actually we'd even talked about doing a second podcast on Podbean on a totally different subject than what we do here. But totally. I'm glad we hadn't yet because then we've been really screwed. I just don't understand how you as a company don't give any warning.
I agree.
I mean, that's
a
to me,
huge change.
I got to really say that's pretty shitty.
We told them what changed, right? They did away with their recording software. So
yeah.
Now you have
so basically, the publisher we used before was Lispin, and you had the option to build your entire website and save things that you reuse every episode through their software. Made our lives a lot easier. We paid for it. It was a monthly fee. It wasn't a free program by any stretch of the imagination. And I can't imagine that we were the only ones that did that.
I'm sure many did.
You know what I'm saying? I just can't imagine a way that they continued to be in business for very long.
And with no notice, just you logged on.
Yeah.
I mean, there it is.
We got the email at 6:30 tonight, right before we're going live. So it's pretty crappy.
But it is what it is. We will control what we can control, and that is not one of them.
Right. We'll just sit here and be pretty.
Well, we do that no matter what.
Right.
Especially Miss Sarah. We'll give credit where credit's due.
Gosh, now she's not going to be able to leave. Her head's just going to swell.
It's about to explode.
I can promise you one thing. It's not going to get bigger than that one.
You're right.
2-1. You're outvoted.
I'm just saying.
Dude. Well, you are fired. If I was paying you all, you will be fired tonight.
You wouldn't have a show because you're lame.
Ouch. Wow.
Big-headed and lame.
We're going to try to go in and edit that out. That's at 13:40.
How many buttons do you have to push? It's not an option now, buddy.
Dang it.
I'm the only one that ever figured out Audacity, so I do all the editing.
Well, at least you're good for something, I suppose. Wow. All right. So, just want to say thank you to all the guests, all the listeners, everybody who's had anything to do with our podcast. We appreciate you
From
very
Podbean
much.
to Libsyn and back to Podbean.
Yeah, we have a exciting few months coming up. Lots of new guests, lots of experts, lots of just new stuff that we're just ready and excited to present as we continue to grow our podcast. And if you have ideas for a show or you have criticisms, there's no criticism that's going to hurt our feelings. We want to get better. And if you can help us get better, we're going to take that for what it's worth and use it. So, Jerry, where would they reach out to us and find that and be able to tell us where we can be better?
Well, they have a couple of choices. First of all, going back to what you said, they won't hurt our feelings, especially not when we've had this much cold, sweet red. There's literally nothing.
There's like a
you
half
can say
gallon
that's gonna
jug
bother.
on our table right now.
But yeah, they have a couple of ways. They can email us at newsworthywithsteveandjerry@gmail.com. They can text us at area code 540-709-1318.
Awesome. So tonight we are going to talk about a base. Yeah, it's a special little bracelet for me. I like it. I'm going to keep it there.
Does it glow in
Bracelet.
the dark?
I think so. I've
thought it
never
was
sat
some
in here in
type
the
of
dark,
ring.
so I don't know.
Hmm.
I thought it was some type of ring.
So we're going to talk. Jerry. We are live, sir. I can't edit that out. No more wine for you.
What's wrong with the ring?
Nothing. But I saw that look on your face, damn it.
This is not video. This is audio.
True. I saw the look. And
You're talking editing. I mean, they didn't hear the look on my face. What needs
that's
editing?
good because you have a face for radio. By the way, your short again has done amazing. Like almost 300
Really?
views. Yeah.
Well, faces for radio do that.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah, I had like 6 views on mine. So
Well, when I see you on Facebook, I like it and share it. I see his, I'm like, keep scrolling.
You don't see me on Facebook because I'm not on Facebook.
Yes,
you
you
are.
are. He
Oh.
puts it on
I
Facebook.
posted on Facebook. That's how,
How do you
get
not know
400
this?
views.
Because I don't use Facebook.
Wow.
Jeez, what a
Ever since I heard that Facebook was selling their information, including private messages, I decided that's probably not a platform that I want to use.
You have a cell phone?
Yes.
They're doing it.
Oh, I've got Facebook on there. I'm not saying I never use it, but very, very rarely. Oh, I'm sure they do. But you can limit, if they're selling private messages, text messages, I would be surprised that Google's doing
They're doing
it.
it.
You think so?
Yes.
Who knows? Probably. But I can hope. So, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Dulce base?
Absolutely. We're talking about the mysterious and the E word. What is it?
Enigmatic.
Enigmatic.
Word for
Dulce base.
yes. Pretty stoked by it. This area around Dulce, New Mexico is by far has the most reported UFO sightings anywhere in America.
Well, first of all, not just this area, but what the hell is it about this part of the United States between Los Alamos, Area 51, and Dulce Base? Holy, yes.
This isn't, I didn't mean to bring this up beforehand, but when I lived in Arizona, I had my very first UFO experience. I used to live in Goodyear, Arizona, on the base of the Estrella Mountains,
Okay.
and I used to stay up as late as I can, just looking out the window, and I can see, I guess, UFOs coming up from the mountains, and there'd be these bright lights, shimmery and glimmery, and you would see other lights come out of them and do maneuvers in the sky and disappear, and then they'd show up all together again on a different side of the sky. I was on the second floor, nothing behind our house. It was all state land and just the mountains, and I would watch that all the time. And then when I moved to Apache Junction, it was Halloween night. I went outside with a bowl of candy for the kids, and I saw the most beautiful, perfect sphere go over my neighbor's house. I lived on the corner, and it came across like this. Sorry, you guys can't see me, but across the street, and it came across, and I can see a mirror image of my neighborhood. And it just went across and kept going until it disappeared forever.
Not to reiterate, but I'm really going to need the name of your dealer. It's pretty good
So-
stuff. You and Steve were
I
talking
was
back
not
in the day.
high.
And Jerry over dinner tonight was like, "Oh, you guys," because we have had and have shared
experiences, and he's jealous because he's
Yep,
so
that's it.
vanilla. He's not even open to it.
That's it. I'm trying to be open. I'm trying to get Gerald's dealer's name, but you won't provide it.
His name was Jose Raviel Martinez Lopez, Guadalajara.
You don't have to get racist about it now.
It's not racist if you're the race. Don't choke.
Too late.
South of the border.
South of the border. Yeah, but anyway, Dulce Base. For those that do not know, Dulce, New Mexico is part of the, I think I'm pronouncing this correct, the Jicarilla Apache Reservation in northern New Mexico. It's only about 2 miles south of the New Mexico-Colorado border. And the Dulce Base is a conspiracy theory that claims that there is a jointly operated human and alien underground facility near the town of Dulce, New Mexico. That's the conspiracy theory. There's a lot of things that have been said about it. But in a nutshell, that is the conspiracy theory.
The Archuleta Mesa.
On the Archuleta Mesa, that is correct. You ever
So-
been there?
No.
Close to it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is.
So
Yeah, I don't, like Steve was talking about earlier, this specific area, but also this part of the country. There's a lot of stuff going on there, supposedly with aliens and UFOs and all of that.
it's a lot going on in the desert.
Apparently
And
so.
it's sad because a lot of people are so focused looking down, they don't look up to see the obvious.
Very true. Good point about life in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's easy to do that. Another way of saying, I think the same thing is so many times we can't see the forest for the trees, but it's so easy to do. It's so easy to get in the habit of this is what I see every time, every day. This is what I see all the time. That
Yeah.
we see what we expect to see, and we don't see sometimes the obvious that's right in front of us, or as you're referring to, right above.
So let's talk a little bit about this area. I had an opportunity to when I was in retail, I had an opportunity to run a store in Tucumcari, New Mexico. And this isn't too terribly far from that.
You've been all over the country.
Yeah.
I forgot you've been in New Mexico.
I never did take that store. It had a couple things I don't like.
Gotcha.
You know, heat, sand.
It's a dry heat. It's better than Kentucky heat.
Well, I've never been there. Don't know. I'm going to find out soon. My son lives down in Arizona.
I bet
so
your
I'm
son
gonna go see him.
will put money on that Arizona heat's
Listen.
better than Kentucky
Let me
heat.
say this. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Several years ago, the company I was working for had a yearly managers meeting, and being the typical closeout company that they were, they rented a Palm Springs resort in the middle of the friggin' summer. It's late July, early August. So, yeah,
I'm familiar
it
with Palm
makes sense.
Springs.
When I was getting ready to fly out there, everyone said exactly what you just said. Yes, it's hot. Yes, it's going to be very warm. It's going to be dry heat. You're not going to notice that big of a difference. Landed at the airport, walked outside. It was 114 degrees.
Did you
I
shed
took a breath,
skin?
and it burnt my lungs going down.
You shed your first layer of skin, right?
People that tell you won't notice the difference are full of crap. It burnt my lungs.
You're
going
not
down.
used to it. If you go
Oh
stand
my
under
God,
a
that was-
tree, you'd be fine.
First of all, in this, they had these little sprinklers. What do they call them?
Misters.
They had misters everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God, because you die every 10 feet without them.
You're not gonna
It's just unbelievable heat. These
You're so
people would tell you-
dramatic.
dramatic. My
You're just so
ass.
sensitive. That's all it
It
is. You're
burnt
not
my
used to it.
lungs going down. That stuff is ridiculous. I
I'm
agree.
sorry. Yeah,
Don't do it.
114 is. You know what 114 degrees is? You know what
Yes,
you do with
miserable.
114?
Beautiful. It's amazing. The best
It's,
heat
it's
ever.
what the type of heat is that you use to make beef jerky.
There's lots of beef jerky down there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because all
Some-
they have to do is like lay it out on the sidewalk.
Some people would
You know, you can
love
cook
it. They'd always
eggs.
be moist.
You
Go
can
ahead.
cook eggs and bake cookies in
Yes.
that heat.
Part of the
But all you
problem.
got to do is sit in the shade. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
At least you can breathe air.
You know what I
Where
have
if
to
it's
do here?
if it's over like 98 degrees out here, you can't breathe. It's so
All you
humid.
have to do is go inside to the air conditioner.
I know what for people who like to be outside, that's well, niggers.
So anyway, let's talk about Dulce Base. We now. I just wanted to. I only said that because I drove down there to look at it, and I was blown away by how beautiful it is down there. It's a different kind of beauty that we're used to here in Kentucky. It's brown, but
Yeah,
there
those
is a lot of
shimmering
green.
heat waves coming up.
Yeah, I mean
The
that's
mirage, the waves of the sun.
Yep.
that is the way it is. But this is real close to Colorado, so it's not as bad. It's more mild. And there is so much. We're just. I mean, we're already 25 minutes in. This may be a 2 episode because they'll say base is huge as far as if we dig down the rabbit holes here tonight, then we're going to be here a minute.
25 minutes and a liter of wine in. This could last a while.
A liter? That's more like, what is that? This is not freaking Europe. What is that? Like a half gallon?
Half a gallon. We'll go with half a gallon.
Yeah.
Vat.
It's a vat. Did you know that a butt load is an actual unit of measurement?
No.
A butt load, look it up, is 126 gallons of wine.
I
Look
just
it
want
up.
to know who figured this out.
I have no idea, but it is an actual measurement. I want to
Look it up.
look it up. Butt load of wine. 123 or 126 gallons of wine.
I feel like this episode is just us rambling about garbage. It's not Dulce base.
Yeah, we got to
We're
get
gonna
to
have
the
to-
Dulce base.
We're gonna have
Gosh,
to do a
We
redo.
haven't
this is all your
got
fault.
My fault. I
Yeah.
did nothing.
We haven't
Whatever.
got
I
to-
decided.
I did not persuade you guys to drink that whole giant bottle of wine together.
It's a lot of rambling about nothing, and we haven't even got to Darla yet.
Oh.
Who's Darla? Oh, we talked about this already.
Yeah.
Steve is correct. The buttload of wine is a unit of measurement that is equal to 126 gallons of wine, or roughly 2 standard wine barrels.
I'm going to drink a buttload of wine tonight because I got another
Here's
bottle.
to a buttload.
Cheers.
All right. Who wants to talk about Dulce base first? Do you want me to go first? Do y'all want to go
Let's
first?
go around the table. You, him, me.
That sounds wonderful. Let's
Works for
do
me.
it. Okay. So here's what I got. Did you know that it is rumored? First of all, we already talked about how many aliens are around that area.
11 races.
We ain't got to that point yet.
Oh.
But yeah, good choice. So, did you know that the first time Dulce Base was ever actually founded, what happened was we were digging with a digging machine to make a base in the plateau, the mesa. And now this is all according to a specific person we'll bring up in a little while. The digging machine broke through the ground and was encompassed in a lot of black and brown sand and smoke. They pull it out and they go in, and it is a very modern base that's already there. Were you aware of this? Did you
No.
see this in your
No, I
notes?
have not heard that.
Okay, so let me just read.
I'm not on the same mailing list you are. I don't get these emails.
Jerry.
I was under the impression that this guy,
So this is actually from the Huffington Post.
the Huffington Post,
Yes.
Which makes it all okay.
just facts.
Oh, gosh, you people. So, and I'm going to read verbatim for just a few minutes to let you guys in on this, okay? So, and it comes back to one of your guys that you wanted to talk about. Dulce, New Mexico is located right on the Colorado-New Mexico border. Will you grab that other bottle while you're in there, Jerry?
Where I'm headed.
All right, cool. Jerry's already like, yeah, I want more. It's a quaint town with a population just under 3,000. It's a tribal headquarters of the Yakarla. Is that Yakarla? Yakalera Apache Reservation. That's what he was trying to say earlier.
He was.
Yeah. It's the alleged location of the secret underground base at Dulce. Philip Snyder, an explosive engineer who worked for the... Right?
Yes. But he was more than just that. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. I was getting ready to get into all that.
All right, go
A
ahead.
little bit. Philip Schneider, an explosive engineer who worked for the U.S. government with high-level security clearance, claimed in 1979 he participated in the building of the secret underground base in Dulce, New Mexico. It was here that a horrific battle played out, leaving 60 humans dead and countless subterranean aliens fighting for their life. There's actually a picture of the drilling machine that they used here. Schneider asserts... Easy on that, I'm just telling you.
Continue with the story.
Yeah. So Snyder asserts that he was suspicious of the engineering operation while noticing the presence of Green Beret in the Special Forces. I'll finish that.
chug, chug, chug.
His fears were realized after the drilling underground. He came face to face with a 7 foot tall, stinky gray alien. Obviously, he freaked out, grabbed a pistol he was carrying because that's what engineers do, and shot and killed 2 aliens. Another alien shot some plasma laser ball or
Don't
whatever.
forget his wave of the chest.
Yeah. And actually caught him with that, and it blew off some of his fingers and half of his hand. He was saved by a Green Beret who allegedly gave his life for him. In all, 60 human people allegedly lost their lives that day in the alien-human battle of Dulce. Jerry's looking at me like he's never heard this story.
And that war continues to this day.
No.
Liar face. That's not what I heard.
Well, Snyder became an outspoken, just to continue with Snyder for just a second, he became an outspoken advocate calling for the government to be more transparent about their knowledge of alien life. He also believed that people in government were trying to shut him up. When he died by suicide, his supporters called foul play because for several weeks leading up to that, he specifically said, if I die by suicide, I didn't kill myself.
So, did you read about his cause of death?
Yes. And I'll let you get into
Is
that
that
in just a second.
suicide, would you say?
Not a chance. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was after their battle, smarter heads prevailed. The military realized with plasma weapons we stood no chance against them. We negotiated a truce with the aliens who were in Dulce that we as the government would give them lists of people that they could abduct. This is all
It was
printed.
a list of people or
Yeah.
just a number of people?
A number and sometimes even a list of people that they could abduct and use for whatever they need. And we can get into what these aliens were doing with those people, but
It's pretty derogatory.
of the
It's
11
not
different
good.
alien races that are said to be in Dulce Base, some of them, about 9 of them, thought of us as a foodstuff, just so you know. But we had to give concessions, I suppose, to be able to make the peace.
But
And
how likely is it that the government put out a piece of paper, signed it with aliens, and was like, here's a contract?
oh, I think it's very likely.
You do.
Yeah, I mean, here's why I say that.
You think it's very likely?
Yes, here's why I say that. Our government is known for making notoriously either good or bad deals
With aliens.
with anybody. We completely screwed over the Native Americans with our deals. We wrote paper that we had no intention ever of honoring. We actually used other deals to be able to purchase Alaska, which is twice the size of Texas, from the Russians, which we did honor that deal. We have been in deals before that went the other way against us. So yeah, I think that it's very likely that that could have happened. And I put it in my mindset, if I'm the president at the time and I have aliens that have plasma weapons that I can't do anything with, I'm probably going to say, Jerry's melting down over here. I'm signing deals. I mean,
I'm just trying to come to grips with the fact that you think that it's pretty likely that our government signed
A
these
deal with
deals with these aliens.
extraterrestrials.
I'm just trying to come to grips with it.
Well, you come to grips with it. So Dulce Base has a schematic that is approximately at below ground level. There is 7 different layers of 7 different levels.
So the human people take the top, and as it gets lower,
Aliens
the
are levels 5,
reptilians
6, and
take
7.
over.
Yeah.
And then that's where the lower it gets, the eviler and more messed up it gets.
Basically. So on the top level, you have the ground level, you have barracks, agriculture, stuff of that nature. Level 1, underground, is security and communications. Level 2 is human staff housing. If you have to label it human staff housing, that should tell you what's coming down in the lower levels.
The reptilians.
Level 3 is the executives and
things.
labs. Level 4 is mind control experiments. Level 5 is alien housing. Level 6 is genetic experiments, and level 7 is cryogenic storage. Also on level 6 and 7 is where there's an underground shuttle straight to Los Alamos. So that's kind of where I want to stop, and I'll come back to some other stuff later. But some of this stuff's really neat. And it has been, this isn't stuff that is just by one person. You know, a lot of times we cover these things and it's one person that said this or one person that did that. This has actually been several people have said the same thing about this place. But Jerry, what do you got since you're over there laughing at me, sir?
Um,
Hey, Bob. Hey, Nightingale. Glad you stopped by for a second. Appreciate you.
welcome. We had totally forgotten about what it was like to get live guests on our show.
Randomly,
we were
yeah.
live. Yeah.
Whoa,
One of the
was not
things that we-
expecting that. Woo!
Horrible. You didn't like it?
No, I do like it, but I wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
So Jerry switched wines on me, and
We're
it's
now with
this is a lot
Oliver
different.
Winery, Sweet Red.
Yeah, it's stout too.
It
Woo.
is. Yeah. You're right. There is more than one, although there was predominantly a small handful that was preaching it religiously. The Paul Benowitz guy was one of the big ones early and for a long period of time. I'm going to talk about him for a second because he's a very unique story.
Sure, absolutely. I like Paul Benowitz.
Paul Benowitz, first of all, I've talked about the fact that for me to believe in a story, it needs to qualify for at least one of these two things. It needs to be from a very reputable source or a lot of people saying it. Phoenix Lights come to mind. With Paul Benowitz, he's a pretty respectable guy. He earned a bachelor's degree from Arizona State. He served in the armed forces in World War II. He was a radio electronics engineer for the Coast Guard. He later worked as an engineer for the San Francisco CBS station, KPIX, and later with KPHO in Houston. In 1953, he moved to New Mexico, and started his own industrial sales company. And he was a very respectable guy. Now, Paul began investigating UFO incidents, and on May 6, 1980, state police in New Mexico received a report from a woman calling herself Myrna Hansen. And she described a story where she had and her son was traveling in a car, and they had been visited by interplanetary visitors. They saw the bright lights. She witnessed two large silent objects approximately the size of Goodyear blimps hovering over a meadow. When she told the story to Paul, he believed it enough that he contacted Leo Sprinkle, a psychologist and tenured professor at the University of Wyoming,
Hey,
who
Jerry,
came down and put her under hypnosis. Yes.
you said size of Goodyear blimps.
Right.
I want you to know that I've been looking and working as a realtor for several years. I had several clients up in Louisville just last week. I was looking for, and they had the PGA tournament, and there were not one but two blimps covering the PGA tournament, and that is really cool to see because you can see those things for miles before
They're
you
large.
get to them. They're huge, and then when you get closer, they're like. Anyway, I just want to say, if you ever get an opportunity to go check out a blimp, do it. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Please go ahead.
Forgot where I was. Oh, yeah. Leo Sprinkle, the professor at the University of Wyoming, came down, hypnotized her, and on May 11th and 12th of 1980, under hypnosis, she reported recollections of an abduction and of being taken to an underground base in Dulce, New Mexico. She recalls seeing body parts floating in vats. She also reported recalling having been given an implant by the aliens.
What kind of implant?
She didn't say that I recall.
I can
and
tell
again,
you where.
Initially, she didn't recall anything. Initially, she said she saw the blimps. She woke up 6 hours later. It was only under hypnosis that she recalled other additional information.
Gotcha.
So initially, yes.
I was just going to say, she didn't know what kind, but she knew where. And that's something that can be proved, and she took an x-ray. Did you read that part?
I did not read that part.
And guess what the x-ray showed?
What did it show?
At the base of her neck, right where she said it was implanted, was an implanted metallic device.
That's
Really?
awesome.
Absolutely.
And what was the device?
I have
Nobody
no
knows. There's so many people out there that have all these weird implanted devices and they're associated with UFO abductions. The metal that it's made out of is not from Earth. They don't have anything in the
Okay, my son
Guys,
Josh is
periodic
going to
table
kill
or
me.
once
anything
again,
like that.
I'm going to need to know the name.
dude.
Listen,
No, this is
listen,
real. This happens.
I got to tell you all a story about my son Josh. Joshua wakes up.
I've heard this story.
Yeah, you've heard this story. So Joshua wakes up. He's probably, 13 at the
Probably.
time, maybe 14. And he's like, Dad, I got a problem. And I'm like, what's your problem, son? He's like, there's a dent on my butt. And I'm like, a
Dent?
what? And I'm like, well, show me. And about halfway, he's like, okay. So he pulls his drawers down just a little bit. And it looks like a surgical indentation on his butt cheeks. I'm like, what did you hit? He's like, I haven't hit anything. Like, I went to bed last night, showered, everything was good. Woke up, felt that, was like, whoa.
Did you take him to
I
like a
did,
specialist
I
or
should've.
anything?
We did take him to the doctor and said, hey, what's this? And the doctor says, when did he have surgery? We're like, he's never had surgery on his butt.
Oh wow!
So at this point, my son may have a metal implant in his left butt or right
He's
butt
been
cheek.
visited by aliens.
So anyway, please continue, Jerry, as you're over there cackling.
Gonna need just a minute.
They're taking his DNA so they can do human-alien hybrid genetic testing.
So
And
Sarah,
then they're gonna have he's having a
What?
conniption, and then that way they can keep the clones in the sky to keep the world going.
while Jerry is melting down, why don't you go ahead and start something?
Yes, please.
I don't know what to start with. This is
So he's talking about the lady.
can't take it.
No more wine for you, sir. You're done. You're cut off.
All right, so I
Not
got
the one.
obsessed with this Philip Schneider guy.
Okay.
All right, he's a U.S. government geologist, contractor, engineer, and biologist.
Okay.
Right? He has helped them build all these different bases. Most famous, notable, Los Alamos, Area 51, and S4.
I believe that.
Yeah, in
S4 is a real place, Jerry.
yeah,
Of
Jerry.
course.
God, how do you not know that? Anyway, in 1979 was the big fight in the underground base, and this is where he lost his fingers and went
Have
to
his
war,
hands, yeah.
and he killed the 2 aliens and all that good stuff, right?
Badass guy.
hmm
That's if you believe what he says. When you see him on his lecture tour, doesn't look like a guy that can do that. But hey, I'm not here to judge.
But he looks very convincing.
Yeah, no, I don't
does.
believe he believes exactly what he's saying.
That's right. And he's, you know what? What gets me is his death.
Yeah. Let's talk about Mr. First of all, for several weeks leading up to his death, what did he say? He told everybody.
He
even
went
in the
on
shows.
tour. He told everybody everything he knew. And then within 7 months, he was killed with a piano wire. And he had evidence of beating and torture and all that. And still it was labeled as a suicide. So tell me that's not Hillary Clinton related.
I don't know that Clinton did it, but there was
Same
evidence.
vice versa.
The type
Well, he
of-
wasn't born, but I'm sure that won't.
what?
He wasn't born, but let's not let that stop. Just
He wasn't born.
He you're talking about
That's-
a different guy.
I'm saying
That's-
Bill Clinton wasn't born. I'm just joking.
Oh,
No.
I'm saying why would we let facts?
Well, he
stop
was. He
us from-
certainly. My favorite meme, by the way, Bill Clinton related it, is a picture of Bill Clinton in the Oval Office, and it says, "Big fallacy that there's only one picture in this picture, one person in this picture." Anywho, so this guy not only
This-
died with piano wire and evidence of beatings, the type of knot that was used to kill him was not a knot that someone who was wanting to commit suicide would ever do.
He was like
It
a Boy Scout or
yeah, it was like-
military.
4 or 5 knotted. It was stupid. It was some
And he had
crazy-
so many other instances where somebody was trying to kill him. He got shot in the shoulder. People were after him. He was able to get away. But then at
But
home,
I guess here's my question,
died.
and I haven't read that much about this. If the government, we're assuming, was behind this, is that what we think?
yes.
If the government was behind this, Are they really that bad at killing someone?
I mean, we saw what happened with Epstein, so yeah.
You're right, we did. We saw the videotapes.
That
which
was
there
not
was-
existent because the
they
cameras
exist.
broke.
No, the cameras work. The
Conveniently.
one in front of his jail cell was broke. The
yeah.
others for the corridor leading to it worked. So we know who entered the area and who didn't. And the answer is no one for several hours preceding his death. So yes, we know. Guys, once again, I don't know how many times I
You
need to
can't-
reiterate it.
Where's the
What
list?
is the name of your dealer? You got some good stuff.
Where's this list at? I haven't seen it yet.
You know, I
that's
could
right.
give you lots of names, but that's another podcast.
That is another podcast.
The list?
Yeah,
The list.
absolutely.
I
Okay.
think that's newsworthy.
Well, let's cover
Secondly,
it. You wanna come
um,
on and do it?
Yeah, I would
so to
definitely.
answer your question,
No.
also
Yeah.
we can do it right a couple of times. The government does get it right sometimes. They got it right with JFK. They made a good clean kill there. This last week, I firmly believe our CIA got them another good kill.
Who killed what?
Yeah, the Iranian president
No.
and his
Even Iran
minister,
doesn't even allege that we had anything to do with this.
All right.
Yes.
which means it was
Podcast
done
people,
perfectly.
I have my hand up because
Yes,
I have a
sir.
question.
Sure.
Who killed Kennedy?
Oh, definitely the CIA.
Oh, that's.
And you?
We're talking about doing a separate episode. on
We
that.
absolutely are.
Okay.
I
'cause
think the answer is we don't know. Period. We don't know. Was it possibility? You better believe it. Possible.
Oswald didn't do it.
Well, he did it, but he did it with help. It wasn't just him.
I think he definitely did it. I agree with Steve, but he wasn't acting alone. I would also agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Coerced.
Paid, maybe.
No, I think coerced. He was a very unstable individual, and we'll get into that. He was very influenced by the Communist Party of the United States. Easily swayed. I think he was a patsy.
Dulce.
Dulce, thank
Anyway,
you, Jerry.
Dulce.
We'll come back to JFK in a future episode.
Also,
Yeah, very soon.
Also,
actually.
human, alien, and animal genetic experience.
Oh yeah, please tell
experiments.
us about the cattle.
The cattle. Ew, it's gross.
Many cats.
What's gross?
The cattle. Anyway,
What does this mean? The cattle?
they took their
I'm so
lower
confused.
lips and
They're
their
not related.
eyeballs
Oh.
and their
Oh.
genitals and
Tongue.
It just
Totally
it's-
mutilated.
But what's weird is they have broken legs, like they've been dropped from a helicopter, not abducted. You're abducted.
Some of them.
You get put down easy. You don't have broken bones and all that. But they have all their innards out, all the good stuff, and also the scavengers of the world don't eat them.
What was the guy's name, Jerry? The sheriff that originally
Not
had
sheriff.
to do
He
all
was a
these-
state trooper.
state trooper
Greg Valdez,
Valdez.
and then his son.
So Valdez noted, and he actually got to where he hated these cases because they were so weird. But there were, like you were saying, there's a few things that was really weird that if it were just the U.S. government committing these atrocities on these livestock, there was like 4,000 total. And Valdez did like 30 of them. But in that area over a particular time span, there was like 4,000 mutilations. So the blood would,
That's a lot.
yeah. So there was no blood. What little bit of blood that was left would not coagulate. It wouldn't harden. It wouldn't go away. It was just runny blood.
Fluids.
Scavengers, like you said, wouldn't touch them.
They won't.
It's
yeah.
like putting out margarine out of, and nothing's going to eat it.
Right. They know
Um,
bad meat.
And in the middle of New Mexico, when it's 120 degrees, there was zero, what's the word I'm looking for? When decomposition. The animals would just lay there
It's just
for
dried
weeks.
out. They didn't
Yeah.
have flowing
They sh- they
blood,
should have
and all of
dried
their
out. They
internal
should have-
organs are gone. They don't have
Yeah.
reproductive organs.
Everything that was
For some
cut,
reason, they take the lower lip.
Yeah. everything that was cut out or cut off of these animals was done with surgical precision. Now, if you look at the reports all say predation. There was a predator that did this. And we covered Chupacabra. Chupacabra was not out there in New
There's
Mexico
no earthly
taking care of this.
predator that can do that.
No. So there's so many weird, bizarre things. It's kind of like, Jerry, we talked a little bit one episode about the what are those things called? The crap.
Strawberry milkshakes?
No, I love strawberry milkshakes. The when there's
From Wendy's, right?
yeah, absolutely they don't have good strawberries, but the
I thought they come back
when the
with them.
aliens come down and they make crop circles.
Oh, crop
So
circle.
crop circles, 98% are man-made. We know this, but the other 2% have very distinct characteristics that there's no way that they're man-made.
Well, and last time I saw was they had radiation that was up through the roof.
Exactly. So did these animals. And most of them, in fact, most of the researchers the investigators that got near the animals at some point got sick from being so near the animals, and they attributed that to radiation poisoning. So just throwing it out.
But anyway, you were saying that you didn't think that it's just government, so you think it's aliens that was doing this?
I think it's part of the agreement that we had.
What did Valdez think?
Valdez did not. Valdez, to his credit, thought that this was some sort of government cover-up.
Entirely, 100%.
Entirely.
He
Absolutely.
never believed. His son actually wrote a book, which I've got to read part of, called Dulce Based the Truth and Evidence from the Case Files of Gabe Valdez, written by Greg Valdez, who was also a New Mexico state trooper. And both of them believed that this was government. That it was not aliens, that aliens were not responsible. He even found evidence that there was human tranquilizers in the majority of the ones that he investigated, meaning that someone had tranquilized the animal before they were mutilated.
Do you think the coyotes and the wild birds and all that would know that they're poison if it was
Very
tranquilized and they
possibly.
wouldn't touch it?
Animals have such a great instinct for things like that. They really do. In many ways.
My
On
thing
the
is,
other hand, there's some things that they just seem to be. Have you ever heard of grass tetany? You okay?
what's wrong with you? Why are you over there
What did you
giggling?
just get? You got a text message about something.
I did.
Who's
Totally separate, related. You know
Totally
Trevor,
unrelated.
right?
Yes,
My buddy Trevor.
sure.
So we're on this text thread. There's like 20 people on there of all my friends that play D&D or whatever,
Right.
because I'm a huge super nerd.
Nerd.
Yeah. Shh. And Trevor just posted. I gotta let everybody know this because Trevor cracks me up. First of all, he says, "Ladies like D&D too." Well, most ladies like the D, but not the and D.
Very, very correct, Trevor. Trevor's a cool guy. I like Trevor.
Going for the
Haven't seen him
D.
long.
Sorry.
Very true. But back to the Valdez, he believed all of this. He believed that it was the government who was doing research. Go ahead. I want to finish something.
No, I want you to finish because
Okay.
I have something I want to bring up after that.
Project Gas Buggy. Either one of you
Gas
guys read about
bucket?
that? Gas Buggy.
No.
Project Gas Buggy was an underground nuclear detonation carried out by the United States Atomic Energy Commission in 1967. Guess where it happened?
Where Godzilla lives?
Rural northern New Mexico. It was approximately 20 miles from Dulce. What they did was to set off nuclear explosions to see if they could be useful in fracturing rock formations for natural gas extraction. To this day, there's still plaques commemorating
I have
the
two
knowledge
questions.
that we did.
I have notes on this.
Why did they go to a Indian reservation in the middle of nowhere to do it? Because we knew
No,
it
that's
was
not a
dangerous
question.
as
I know
crap.
what that is.
We knew it would poison the water supply for many, many years. Yet we chose to do it, and we paid them an unbelievable sum. The Indians agreed to this. That they were paid so much money and said because we told them a bunch of lies and said, "Here's what we're going to do, and it won't affect anything."
Were
and
the
we'll give you a-"
Indians to collaborate your story?
Pardon? Oh, they say they agree. I mean, this is commonly known. Project Gas Buggy happened, and they agreed to it, and they were paid money by the U.S. government for it to happen.
I never
So
heard
that
of
part,
it.
but what Valdez believed, he believed that the mutilations was just other government research done to figure out what happened with the radiation.
Here's
from
my
Gas
question.
Buggy and all these
Jerry.
things.
Here's where I have an issue with that part of it.
Sure.
If the government is already paying the Apache people untold amounts of money to be able to do this program,
Okay.
why not spend it as an example? Why not spend it? Let me finish this thing. Why not go ahead and spend an extra $2,000 or $3,000 on a few cattle to figure it out, as opposed to stealing and
A few
mutilating?
cattle?
If
How
you
many
can
did
steal
you say it
cattle,
happened to?
4,000. But
What's
Jerry, here's
what's
the thing.
market value
When-
of 4,000
when they
cattle?
dis-
It's
when-
not a few thousand.
listen, when a destroyer's guns go off in the United States Navy, their automatic air guns go off to defend against missiles and airborne defenses.
Okay.
This thing will fire literally at 400 rounds per minute.
Are you going to let Sarah speak?
I
She's
am,
gonna
but I have to
end
finish
up her-
this thought because I've had wine. So at 400
Good
rounds
excuse.
per minute, in 1 minute, they will spend $12,000 in ammunition. I don't think the government gives a hot shit about 4,000 cats. That's all I'm saying.
I don't either.
What was you going to say, Sarah?
I just wanted to bring it out that in 1995,
That was a great year, by the way. I graduated in 95.
as far as our little friend Philip Schneider was concerned, we paid trillions every 2 years. In 1995,
To who?
to the government to do these experiments.
Oh, I believe that.
Okay, so it's 2024, right? How much more is it now?
Oh, I can't imagine.
All right.
It's crazy amounts of money.
And then back then, there's 131 active bases and 1,447 in the world, which is 17 to 19 billion dollars a year.
Active
Listen.
bases of what?
Underground active bases.
Underground bases.
Listen, our government spends more on defense right now
Our
than
government
the
spends
next 9 countries
our government
combined.
spends more on secret black ops than anything ever.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't know
Sarah
about
and I are-
that because,
That's absolutely right.
well,
You're
think
right.
about what the statement you made just previous was what?
$12,000 per minute on ammunition on
That
one
we know
destroyer.
about. We spend more in military spending than the next 9 countries put together.
All right.
That's what we know about. And you agree with what she's saying that we spend way more than that on Black Ops?
Listen.
Yes.
The
No, no.
budget
This
doesn't
is
allow
why.
it.
No.
This is why. Remember Hillary Clinton thing?
Yeah.
Where did all the money go? To the black ops.
Listen,
You
Terry,
can't find
We
it.
don't take
the
in this
day,
much money.
and I'm going to divert just a second, and we'll come right back to Dulce. The day before 9/11, our Secretary of Defense announced that the military
It's not
lost $1.3 trillion.
Listen, not that.
No, this is a whole different episode
I
because
understand.
they're the guy that owned the Twin Towers. He cashed in on his settlement of insurance, knowing that they were going to crash, that they were going to get.
That is not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it.
I'll bet whatever you wanna bet.
dude. This
What do you
has
wanna
to
bet?
be an episode. No, the Twin Towers.
It's already on the calendar.
That was-
911. We're coming back to that. I'm
Pearl,
just saying.
Pearl
that
Harbor. That
the-
was America.
the whole point is we spend a lot of money on
We do.
defense that we don't know where.
But the
it
money you're
goes.
talking about, we don't know where it goes. Can't be more than the military budget because that is
No,
way-
it's included in the budget. That's what I'm saying.
we know where that goes.
Not all of it.
We can tell you where that goes.
No,
The
you
vast-
Do you
can't.
really think they spent
you part of the
The
government?
majority of that, we can
Seriously.
tell you where it went.
$9,000 for a hammer? Really?
I've told you the story about my girlfriend's mother who worked in the industry.
Right.
The $9,000 hammer is no big deal. That happens all the time.
Exactly.
Are you? Hold on. There's a hammer. That is
There's no
handheld.
hammer, but on
For
paper
now.
there's a hammer.
For where?
The military. That's how they get the money for the black ops. They say they spend $9,000 on a hammer. They buy a hammer for $2 at Harbor Freight.
That's
and
what I'm saying. It's a black
$8,000
ops
goes to black
thing,
ops.
dude.
No.
Yes.
Bologna.
Different episode.
Okay, I agree. But once again, please have the name of your old dealer. Please.
You are so wrong.
He's got the
Jerry.
best stuff out
You're
there.
just lost.
I'm just, please. Would y'all please just give me the name?
No.
I need it.
Not
phone
even.
nu-
I'm not
I
giving
need
you
the
the name, and I'm not sharing my
Phone
stuff.
number.
8675309.
Oh my goodness.
Anywho, back to
Won't
Dulce
even
Base.
give me
Who's
the-
got more information? Let's go.
But
Oh, hold on, let me pull it back up. I was at a place, I don't think I'd finished it, maybe. I've had way too much money. I talked about Project Gas Buggy. Yeah. As far as the mutilation, the far and away expert was Valdez. Valdez never believed that there was any evidence of any alien involvement at all. He believed
It's
that it was
government.
entirely the United States government.
Mhm.
I'll sum it up like this. Do you guys know how big Dulce Base is?
Apparently, it's massive.
The
Well,
town.
Oh, the
oh,
town's very
Dulce
small.
is very small. They didn't even have a stoplight in
Not
the
one,
beginning.
not zero.
Do they
have
have
no
one now?
stoplights. No.
Still,
According to Google Maps. Go look it up. I went through and looked for their Highway 64 and forget the name of the expressways, the two major roads they intersect.
there's no stoplight. It just goes. Phew.
I looked around town. They have a grand total of 2 stores where you can buy groceries. One is the Hickorilla Apache supermarket, and the other is Family Dollar. The only 2 places you can buy groceries in the store.
It's because the
In
Apaches live
this
off the
town
land.
of 2,000 people, you don't think they would notice that the workers of a 7-story complex are driving through or stopping by for groceries? There's only 2 places: Family
Well,
Dollar.
the government's not buying their groceries.
They're
at
just flying
Family
it straight
Dollar.
in, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No one notices all these.
Or have you ever considered that maybe they have a grocery store, quote
Or-
unquote, on the base?
How do they equip the
Or,
grocery store?
Jerry, what you
They
apparently
use
didn't find in your
bioengineering.
research.
They can grow
What-
meat. They can grow plants.
Apparently, what you guys didn't see in the research is that Dulce Base is connected to all the other bases by an underground
Wait,
maglev
123-mile subterranean
It's an
that
underground
connects it
Mach
to
2
Los Alamos.
train that
Mach
connects
2.
all bases using alien tech.
To Los Alamos. Yeah, Los
It's a
Alamos.
magnetic.
You don't have to worry about what
Floater.
the people upstairs see if you're flying. You're bringing it all by train underneath.
Once again, guys, I don't know how many times I can say it. I said it once, I'll say it again. I need the name of your dealer. If you believe all this, there's a 7-story mega
It's not something
complex
about believing. It's just the information
that's
that's
next
there.
to a town of 2,000 people, and they don't notice
It's
the traffic.
underground, and it's Mach Jesus, Mach 2. How fast is that? It's Mach
That's
Jesus.
Pretty, that's Mach Jesus. I agree. Yeah.
What about John Lear? You know John Lear.
Sure.
His dad was the president and creator of Learjets.
Right.
John Lear had claimed to garner 4 independent confirmations that the 7-story structure was real. He was another one, not just the guy that you thought was a crazy guy who killed himself. This guy is a prominent businessman who owns a huge company that said, and had ties to the CIA, who said that the 7-story structure was very much real. Lear was a former pilot and government man. He worked for the CIA occasionally, as well as the son of the inventor of the Learjet. His detailed claims went so far as to describe the different species of aliens who allegedly visited Earth. Lear's allegations served as the foundation for further claims about the New Mexico alien base. So, I mean, John Lear's a guy who has good character and good credibility. What do you think about him? Do you
He's
want
got
his
the
drug dealer?
Same dealer you guys have, apparently. That's all I know. Once again, do I believe that there's an alien base with half human, half. When you begin to read into this, they believe that we are intermingling the species.
That's
That
been
we have half human, half octopus, half human, half
No.
alien.
no. This has been the story from the very beginning.
Let me finish. Do I believe that exists in the mountains of Dulce, New Mexico? Hell no, I don't. No. There is no evidence. There's no people that are not, that don't have access to a very good dealer that are proclaiming this to be the truth. Do I believe Valdez? Do I believe the government is involved in a ton of cover-ups? Yes. Remember when I was talking about Benitez Did you know that the CIA finally admitted that they were involved in a disinformation campaign to drive him crazy, to
Yeah.
give him enough information
Oh,
and
yeah.
misinformation?
With Doty.
You mean the government's trying to drive
Do I
some
believe it?
individual crazy?
I believe that 100%. Do I believe the government is? And here's the reason that people like you guys are
They do
susceptible
this so
to.
they don't leak information.
They do this so much, and the reasons kind of make sense, right? We don't want the public to go crazy. In Area 51, they were saying that a lot of the reason why they come out with their cover up stories was they didn't want the people to panic. So they come out with some cover up story. Did it make sense? No. Were they caught? Yes. But it's the fact that the government will get involved in these cover ups that makes people so susceptible to believe anything and everything, including we've got half human, half octopus babies living underneath the
well,
Dulce Mountain.
if you're continuously lying to your people and
Sure.
your people catch
You're
on to
asking
it,
for it.
they're not
I
going to
agree.
trust you.
100% agree. So is the government to blame for this? Yes. Bottom line, do I believe that we've got half human, half octopus babies living underneath the Dulce Mountain? No, I don't.
I do believe that there are
Okay.
hybrids.
Two things here,
Yes.
sir. So first thing, and when you research the Dulce base, there is a picture circulating of what they say is clones and vat tanks. That's been known to be debunked. Okay, so
Many times.
just to be fair to everyone,
And
that is
we
out of
also
a
had
movie.
that they say that the government introduced that. That's not just some Joe Blow. The government authored those
Yeah.
pictures.
So
as part of their
basically,
disinformation
that's
campaign.
bunk. However, the second thing is, and it has nothing to do with Dulce base, but you said octopus base. Octopus has no known genetic or DNA equivalent before them to ever to even approach on Earth. A lot of people, scientists included, believe that octopus actually came from extraterrestrials. Okay,
There's
just
no
so
reason
you
for
said
them
it.
to be
so I
here
had to
on
bring it
Earth.
up. What?
Just to clarify, when we say a lot of people, we're talking about you guys
No.
and 14 other people that are really good dealers. That's who we're
Hey,
talking about.
hey, podcast world! If you're with us, let us know.
Yeah, at Newsworthy with Steve and Jerry
At
at
gmail.com.
gmail.com. So first of all, I'm going to go back to Schneider for just a second. Sure. If you don't believe the story about Schneider as an engineer killing two aliens, okay, I'm with you. I got you. But he did lose half his hand and 3 fingers in the process of this battle.
I saw
that
the
happened.
pictures. I watched the videos. It's all mangled and
Yeah.
yucky.
So if that happened on some another way, if it happened at a construction job, if it happened during a car accident,
But
if
he
it
has
happened-
no experience in any of that. It was all
Right.
government issue
Right.
stuff.
if that happened and you saw that, send us an email. We want to hear from you. However, as it is, we have to take him at his word that happened. And for many, many weeks prior to him actually, and I'm using air quotes, committing suicide, he said specifically, if I end up dead and they say it was suicide, it's not. I love my wife. I love my children. I'm not going anywhere.
Hard to commit suicide with a piano wire. With
Tied into
beatings
multiple
and
knots and weird double
scars
shit. Yeah.
and bruises. Yeah, suicide.
So anyway, the Dulce base. We have pretty well butchered this episode about the Dulce base. I'm not gonna lie. 2.5 bottles of wine will do that.
But I think
half
a couple
6
more
pack
bottles
of
we
beers. We'll
we could do it
probably
justice.
do that. And I'm not okay. I'm not opposed to doing Dulce base part 2. I'm just saying.
It doesn't need a part 2.
I don't think it does
It
either.
does not need
So-
a part two.
It goes nowhere. There's no for sure's.
So that brings us to our very next question. Jerry,
Yes.
is Dulce base newsworthy? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I will give it a thumbs up on one condition.
What's that?
I need the name and phone number of your dealers.
So thumbs down to Jerry.
Period.
Sarah, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I think it's a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, she's on the fence.
I think this is really fun to talk about, and you can go into the rabbit hole forever about it. But at the end of the day, you're going to get nothing.
All right.
You get
well,
nothing.
I think that until we get through everything, it gets a thumbs up. I think that there is definitely a blue million different underground bases that America does have. This is supposedly one of many bases, especially in this area, that is qualified to house the president if in a nuclear emergency. And I
Dulce
think,
base?
well, it's connected to Los Alamos, and Los Alamos is. So if you believe the story with the train and the tram, this is connected to Los
It's
Alamos.
where they go mock Jesus.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up, much to your all chagrin. And I just feel like there's a lot here to talk about. I think there's a lot that we will never know.
Sure.
It's one of those things that, it's fun to talk about. Like
It's
you
fun
said,
to talk about, but there's
and
not going to be a definite answer.
they're just not. So that's what I think about it. And if you can't see the light,
Be the light.
Hi, this is Ed Locke with USA Mortgage. When it comes to buying a home, the process can be overwhelming and confusing. With so many options, it can be hard to know where to start. That's why it's important to work with a certified mortgage loan originator. I have the knowledge and expertise to guide you through the process and find the best mortgage option for you. I will work with you every step of the way to ensure that you are getting the best deal possible. So if you're looking to purchase or refinance, please reach out to me at 502-680-0953. So don't take on the stress of buying a home alone. Work with me and I will make your dream a reality. Trust the professionals and make your home buying experience a positive one. MLS ID 448908, DAS Acquisition Company, LLC, doing business as USA Mortgage, MLS ID 227262. This is not a commitment to lend. Additional terms and conditions apply. USA Mortgage is equal housing opportunity.